holiday weekend. Hope it was filled with family, friends, food, and fun. That's what happened here. I called in some of my favorite people to help us throw together a fun holiday celebration. But I do know my limitations, so I called in the professionals. And as a result, coming up in this morning's show, the World National Napkin Folding Champion, Tyrone Howard, will show us some clever ways to set a beautiful table. Zach Luker shows us how to make a Bloody Mary that has everything in it but the kitchen sink. This will wow your guests this season. And Chef Dondi shows us a new twist on French toast, Cuban style. And how about a fun family competition that gets everyone in your family involved? Well, high schoolers from Episcopal show us how it's done. And this is No Hate November, a time for unity in our community. I'll show you how the Manship Theater pulled in performers from across the country to bring Baton Rouge closer. But we begin with a clever way to raise money and excitement. I go to a lot of charity events, but this one had me thinking it could expand, not just for philanthropists, but for families. It's a way to join the generations for some family fun and family feasting. But this event actually happened at Episcopal High School. Freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors battled it out in the Night Chef Cook-Off. It was the first competition of its kind in Baton Rouge, and I was lucky enough to be a judge. Here's how it worked. Every team was given a list and quantity of ingredients to use. For instance, 25 pounds of pork, 10 pounds of chicken. Now, Episcopal students were cooking large quantities to sell that night at one of their football games, so you certainly wouldn't have to use such large quantities. Just really depends on how many people you're feeding. Well, the students had to create from the list of ingredients their menu, which included an appetizer, entree, and dessert. Now, they could use any recipe they wanted, make up their own, or even seek outside help from a professional chef. They also got scored on presentation, tying it all up with a theme. All of this was the brainchild of local restaurateur Wayne Stabler.
We just came up with an idea for, they were looking for something for class participation, parent participation for the upper grade, and the upper grades, and we just sort of came up with this idea and it worked out. It was really, really a good event. So
you've been here all day. What have you seen behind the scenes?
You would not imagine what I've seen behind the scenes.
Even parents like Matt Siraj were helping serve it up. Waited around?
Yeah, I'm making my contribution to the effort here, and I'm going to eat well tonight too. So really, what a great day for a football game.
I know. Perfect. Well, enjoy all that. So you might want to try all that out with your family. And have another fun, friendly competition idea if your family's up for another one. Well, this one involves international napkin folding champion Tyrone Howard. He is going to show us how to set a beautiful table around the holidays with the art of napkin folding. He'll do it as Weekends with Whitney continues right after this.
You can count on Jerry Lane.
At Jerry Lane, they rolled the red carpet out for me.
It's always been Jerry. Jerry Lane. You know what? It's tradition, it's family, and that's what keeps us coming back to Jerry Lane. Get the lane, get the lane. Get the lane, get the lane. Get the lane, get the lane.
We're a Jerry Lane family.
Always lead to. You can count on Jerry Lane.
You know the best thing about Raising Cane's? Well, we have fresh, never ever frozen 100% premium chicken fingers. We also have extra long crinkle cut fries. Then there's our crisp coleslaw and buttery Texas toast. And of course, you can't forget about our totally craveable cane sauce. But while all those things are definitely tasty, the absolute best thing about Raising Cane's is simple. We don't make it until you're ready to eat it. Raising Cane's, one love.
So we all love a beautiful holiday table, right? Well, nobody can set one as beautifully as Tyrone, and what he does is magical. He does napkins hundreds and hundreds of different ways. He's done it at the White House, he's done it on the Oprah Winfrey Show, Good Morning America, Regis and Cal, I mean, every show around.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
now he's doing it on Weekends with Whitney.
Of course, best show there is.
We love it. So what are you going to start with?
Well, I'm start with something traditional, not traditional, but kind of unique. What it is for black tie affairs, especially for the holidays. There's going to be one to set your dining room table. Take a few seconds, prior to put it in slow motion to check it out.
I was going to say, if your DVR is not set right now, set it, and then you can watch him do it slowly.
So take this, put it on a plate.
Okay.
Got to have a starch napkin. You don't have to really do a super starch napkin. But then you take this, take your sugar pack, or you can cut out a bow tie and put it on a plate, such as this.
We're fighting a little wind here, sorry.
With the tie, the shirt. There's the shirt, the lapel, the sleeve, the collar, and the bow tie.
That's beautiful.
All right.
I love it.
Then there's another napkin fold that I created because, you know, you have parties outside, like such as this.
Yeah.
You have your cocktail napkins, you know, on the table, and they're blowing everywhere. So I created this fold. I made a dispenser especially for wedding receptions or cocktail parties. This is to keep the wind from blowing napkins all over the yard. Created this fold. It's a napkin holder. The more you put it, the more you tighten it on the ends, the wind could blow all day. It's not going anywhere.
That's a great idea!
You know? So the more you pull it out, it goes down and down and down. So, did that. Then people watching the game, especially the Saints is coming on right now. So Tom Benson took over the Saints from John Meek when he bought it. He called me up and asked me could I do something for the New Orleans Saints. So
you just said,
Came up
let me
there.
think of something, and there you go.
yes, ma'am. Now you tell me, I don't know what this is.
Oh, I'll tell you I know what it is.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that is beautiful. And that goes at every table, right? Oh.
Now, one last one I'm gonna show you. And this came up in New Orleans, where I met her. It was at a hospital called Doctor's Hospital. I knew Dr. Merlin used to do Passover functions for him. He said, Ty, be nice if you can come up with something for the Jewish community. I said, not a problem. It took me a couple of days to come up with this one. I get waiters all the time. I say, if y'all can fold this, I tell them, you can fold it like that, Star David.
Oh. How did you get started folding napkins?
I grew up at a hotel in New Orleans called the Fairmont Roosevelt. A gentleman named Raymond Revere taught me basics. From that, I started creating different things of my own. Then people started entering me contests around the city, state, country, other parts of the world. I go to 11 countries a year, 54 cities a year.
11 countries a year, 54 cities a year,
Yes,
doing
ma'am.
napkins and such. Okay, of all the fabulous places that you've been, what's been the most fabulous that you've been invited to do this at?
Well, your house, of course.
I did not pay him to say that.
No, not at all.
I know we do have fun when you're here, don't
Hey, we can't have witness. Can't go no further.
we? Okay, your second favorite.
My second favorite, Oprah Winfrey.
Was it really?
Oh yeah, Oprah Winfrey.
Better than the White House?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
Really? Why was Oprah so
Because
magical?
she has a card called a Harpo card. And I was there for an entire week. All expenses paid.
No way. A Harpo card.
Oprah spelled backwards.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
But I also love Regis too. Regis and Caterly. They
They're fun.
really treated me swell.
Yeah. Well, I'll work on that Whitney card.
That's not. That's coming next week.
Give me a couple more advertisers.
Next
maybe,
week
but
is
we're
coming.
on it, okay?
Yes, indeed.
Great. Let's do our Weekends with Whitney after this.
Yes, indeed.
Give the gift of fine dining this holiday season. Wayne Stabler Companies is offering one card for four. Le Creole, The Little Village, Stab's Steak and Seafood. 4 sizzling restaurants, one card.
Maggio, the only way to go. Maggio Buick GMC, your satisfaction's our specialty. We really deliver on Falls River, here in New Roads. Small town atmosphere, legendary service for over 60 years. Maggio, the only way to go. The only only way to go. That's Maggio.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ann Zedlitz, board-certified dermatologist, laser specialist, and an expert injector. Not all skin types are the same, so not all treatment should be the same. Are you looking to reduce fine lines and wrinkles? We can do that. Scarring from acne or injuries? Or what about stretch marks? Tired of dealing with rosacea or uneven pigmentation? Are you looking to lift or tighten your skin? We can do that too. Come see me and my team of experts here at Z Dermatology.
New location now in Prairieville.
So around the holidays, Bloody Marys are just a wonderfully popular drink to mix, and nobody does it like Zach Luker with Wayne Stabler Catering. It's everything but the kitchen sink, literally. Okay, you can make it with vodka, without vodka, so virgin, alcoholic, however you want to do it. But great to see you this morning.
You too.
Okay, where did this originate, this recipe?
We actually started this one at Little Village Airline. The bartenders got together and we just decided that we were going to take all of the brunch items and just put it in one.
Put it in a cup. And
Literally.
serve it up.
That's what we have. We have bacon, shrimp, okra, tomato, olive, all of it.
I love it. When I saw the bacon, I really almost fell out. The shrimp, you know, I've seen once or twice before, but really the bacon coming out of there, I've never seen.
Well, you're cooking for your kids in the morning, you know. You're trying to make you a little cocktail. Just throw a piece of bacon in there. Kids won't know.
Well, let's show them how it's done.
Let's do it.
Now, do you set a tomato juice or do you use one of the, you know, already pre-made stuff?
We use Zing Zang.
Okay.
So we use that.
Is that your favorite?
It is,
Okay,
yes.
Zing Zang, it is. Other companies make their own, and you know, you can have your own.
Start with a little vodka.
Okay.
And then we're going to put some Worcestershire sauce in here.
All right. It's about a tablespoon of Worcestershire.
Yeah. A little bit of horseradish right there for you.
Okay, that was about another teaspoon of horseradish.
A little bit of olive juice.
Ooh.
Now, the kicker. A little sriracha. Top it all off with the Zing Zang.
It's pretty easy.
Not too hard.
Now, just in case you missed this quickly, that's just like it. And when you look for it, it's going to have a rooster, and it's hot, hot, hot. So you don't put too much in it, but it's like the chili sauce.
Alrighty. Put a little salt on the rim.
Okay. I don't think I've ever done that with a Bloody Mary, salt on the rim.
Sometimes you do Tony, sometimes you do salt.
Okay.
Depends on how
But
you're
always
feeling.
something.
And now for the garnishes. Some olive, green bean, okra, and tomato.
Great color.
Do a little lemon and lime.
Gee.
Throw a little shrimp on there. And then can't forget the bacon.
You know, it's almost a meal. I think you have every food group in there represented.
I think so.
That's great.
There you go.
Well, it'll add a lot of fun to anyone's
It will.
holiday meal. And if you need the recipe, just head to weekendswithwhitney.net. We have all the proportions exactly made for you. Zach, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Well
Thank
done.
you.
Happy holidays.
You too.
And now a delicious breakfast idea to go with that. We begin with a beautiful beginning. Nothing like French toast to have friends over around the holidays, you're doing breakfast, brunch, anything. And Chef Dondi with Wayne Stabler Companies knows how to do it Cuban style. So this morning he's going to share his tricks of the trade with us. Great to see you.
Thank you, thank you. Well, what we're doing is a traditional French toast.
Okay.
French bread, French toast batter. But what I've done is I'm going to stuff it like a Cuban sandwich, and I'm going to cook it like a Cuban sandwich and press it so that it's crisp. So you got kind of a yin-yang French and Cuban mixture.
I love that. How long did you let this kind of get hard?
Just overnight.
Overnight? Okay.
Just overnight. You can hear the sound of it. What I'm going to stuff it with is a little bit of mascarpone cheese that I mix with brown sugar, a little bit of vanilla, and cinnamon.
Sounds delicious.
And we'll do both sides.
Okay, so it may not be the healthiest dish you're going to have this holidays, but they will remember it and come back for more.
Well,
which is what we want to do, right?
Exactly,
I mean, really.
exactly.
I mean,
And winter, and this time of year, who's worried about healthy?
I'm fattening up for the winter, I can tell you that. Oh, raspberries, okay.
A little bit of fresh raspberries.
Inside, interesting.
And we'll put some more berries inside of it.
I've never had this. How'd you come up with it?
I worked down in South Florida for about 15 years. And I had to come up with a dish years ago for breakfast. And I came up with smoked salmon sushi for breakfast. And then I came up with the Cuban sandwich that was for breakfast. And I came up with another dish which was oatmeal souffle, which was raspberry oatmeal souffle.
Oh my goodness. Well, we're gonna make you do the oatmeal souffle one day. Not this day, but one day.
Again, we put it in the pan and let it get crisp, just like you're cooking your French toast. And you notice I'm pressing it down and forcing it down to.
Sure. Now, if I gave you a big top or something, would that help?
Yeah, a little weight. Sometimes I have my pan. Oh, you have one down there?
Well, I mean,
that's
not
perfect.
Gonna be a lot of weight, but we could.
You've done this before.
Well, I do this with it when I do asparagus. For some reason, it makes it taste a lot better.
Okay. And you press it down just like you would do on a sandwich press.
Okay.
Or if you could use a sandwich press, a panini press,
I could.
Would work just as easily.
Wow. Okay. Well, that might be a fast way to. Well, I don't know. Depends how many presses you have, right? To do a bunch.
But I'm gonna do one at a time.
Yeah.
We'll just flip it over. But you can see it and you can hear it. It's starting to get hard.
It is. And he's on medium heat, just so you know.
Yeah. All right, now that it's crisp, I dip it in my sauce.
Oh, okay. What's in the sauce?
It's cream, egg, a little bit of sugar, brown sugar, and cinnamon.
And he's going to have the recipe on our website for you, so you can get all the ingredients. Now, maybe we won't give it to you in this type of quantity. It's going to be like, a ton of people. But you didn't soak it in here too long. No, you just.
No, you could soak it in there for a long time, but.
Should I?
I would soak it no longer than a minute because it gets too soggy. You're looking for the crispness for the Cuban sandwich rather than the softness of a traditional French toast.
Okay. Got it. No.
And with our recipe is I put a lot of seasoning in it so that it's a lot more flavor rather than, with your traditional French toast batter, it's
mostly
mild.
egg.
Yeah, mostly, exactly.
And so that's why you have to dredge it.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Flip it over.
Oh, I can see the cinnamon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that
a little bit of cinnamon. You can smell it cooking.
It smells really.
I know you can smell it through the TV.
And if you can't, I'm sorry, because I wish you could. It's delicious. I mean, it's smelling delicious. This is a great idea.
It's just fun. The kids can use it. It's easy to eat. You will cut it like a Cuban sandwich, which is the traditional strips, so that they can eat individually like that. And you can serve it at parties, on platters. You could serve it for the kids in the morning for breakfast. They love it. And you don't even need to put any sugar with the mascarpone. You could just use traditional mascarpone, which is nice and sweet.
Oh, wow. So no syrup, none of that.
You can add syrup. I like the blackburn syrup. I'm a blackburn fan. Cut them in long strips. And I'll serve them right here on this plate.
The working kitchen. Yeah. I thought about clearing everything off and making it look really nice and pretty for you, but really, when you're cooking, it's just like, it's not like that. So there we are. Oh, wow. Oh, the berries look beautiful in there as well.
And just a little powdered sugar.
Okay.
And you put a little bit of berries on top.
That's the healthy part. See, it is healthy somewhat because we have the berries. And that's delicious. And still to come on Weekends with Whitney, a no-hate comedy date with a serious message. I'll take you to the Manship Theater right after this.
We're Cadillac women. I'm a cowgirl, but I like to ride in style.
I'm a broadcasting major, and I want everyone to know that I love my Cadillac SRX.
Always me too. You can count on Jerry Lane.
This is No Hate November, a time when people come together to promote anti-bullying, anti-hate, and unity in the community. And here in Baton Rouge, Pride One put on a no-hate comedy date. They brought some of the most famous female impersonators from across the country to the Manship Theater. And one of those is Miss CoCo Peru. She's been in hit movies and sitcoms like Will and Grace. Well, I sat down with her to talk about her personal struggles, how she uses comedy to conquer hate, and how donning a dress changed everything. How did this start for you?
I trained for theater years ago in college, and in the early 90s, AIDS was really hitting New York City hard, and so I wanted to be an activist, and I wanted to be openly gay. I had been trained in the theater, you know, to butch up and not be so girly, and I just thought, you know what? I think I'm done with that. I think I'm going to accept everything I'd been taught to hate about myself from an early age, and instead dress it up and celebrate it and just tell my story.
Those stories were born from a difficult childhood of bullying, intolerance, and unacceptance. Yeah, how did you know you were different? Growing up.
Growing up, I thought I was completely normal. It's everybody else that thought I was different. I mean, in kindergarten, I was, they set up like a little town, and there was a supermarket or a post office or the bank, and I went to the supermarket and started doing the shopping, and the teacher pulled me away and she said, you need to work in the post office. That's where boys work. That would never happen nowadays, but back then the roles were set. And I remember being so disappointed. I was putting my little cereal boxes back on the shelf and sat behind that desk at the post office.
The bullying only accelerated through high school until Clinton Loop, CoCo's real name, and who still lives his life as a man except when on stage, decided to put on a dress, makeup, that signature red flip wig, and transform himself into CoCo Peru.
In fact, when I created CoCo, all the bullying in my neighborhood stopped because suddenly they had nothing on me. Well, you guys say, oh, you're a girl? You're damn right. I look better than your girlfriend does. I mean, they had nothing on me anymore. It was so liberating. And I really encourage people through my shows to experience, you don't have to do drag, but whatever those fears are, address it, embrace it, and celebrate it.
Listen, we drag queens, we might look like a bunch of clowns to you, and well, we are. But drag queens embody a powerful law of Mama Nature's, and that is, if you can transform the outer, you can transform the inner. And vice versa, if you transform the inner, you can transform the outer. Yes.
And it's so funny because now I can go back to my neighborhood and some of those same people that, you know, made fun of me come up to me, now and go, congratulations, and you're doing so great, or we've watched your videos, and I don't hold the grudge. And I think I don't hold the grudge because I actually am happy. You know, and I've moved on. That they have no power over me anymore because I completely owned it all and put it out there.
In fact, my last therapist told me, he said, you know, all this anger that you have towards the world is really just grief. You see, and you kept this grief bottled up inside of you since childhood. And you need to learn how to grieve your past, otherwise, you're never going to be a whole person. I said, excuse me? Not a whole person? I mean, come on, give me a break. I'm two people. Doesn't that add up to at least one person?
Unlike a lot of gay children, CoCo always had support from her parents.
My mother just said, well, you always had to be different.
CoCo's recipe for unity is laugh, lighten up, and shimmy.
But listen, if all of our world's leaders had just gotten together and shimmied, do you think we'd be in the mess we're in today? No! Yeah, they'll be swinging and swaying and a drag queen sashaying, a shimmy in the streets. Oh, oh, oh. It doesn't matter what you wear, just as long as you are there. You see, darlings, it's my dream. You embrace your drag queen, and together we'll heal this crazy world. We're gonna shimmy.
When I get feedback from maybe a mom who came to see my show and says, my son has been asking for Barbie dolls, and I never bought them because I was always worried about what other people would think, but I'm going home and I'm buying my son every Barbie doll he's ever asked for. I think, okay, mission accomplished.
Baby, if I could change the world.
That's part of the reason I created CoCo, was because I just didn't want any gay kids to ever have to go through what I went through.
CoCo's changing the world through tolerance and understanding.
My beautiful 6-year-old nephew, Ethan, he walks up to me. He asks me completely out of the blue, why do you dress like a girl? I said, well, Ethan, don't you like dressing up? Like on Halloween? Isn't it fun and exciting? Doesn't it make you feel happy? And he said, yeah. I said, well, Ethan, that's how I feel when I dress up. Only I don't want to have to wait for Halloween. And he thought about it for a second and he said, oh, okay. And then he ran back to play with his buddies. And I realized, CoCo Peru, yet once again, you've just made this world a little more beautiful.
Thanks again for starting your Sunday morning here with me on Weekends with Whitney. Remember, you can always follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And for those delicious recipes we showed you earlier in the show, log on to weekendswithwhitney.net. Hope you have a great rest of the holiday weekend. Hope to see you back here again next Sunday. But right now, I leave you with this. Welcome back to Weekends with Whitney. Okay, whether you're gonna add vodka or just have it, never mind. What do they call that when they don't have alcohol in it? Oh, non-alcoholic. I'm sorry, that's not a word I use very often. Thank you. That one either. All right.
Save that.
So grab a cup of coffee and sit down and watch your. Well, I just made that up. Okay. Here's a runner. We just want to wait till they go by. 3, 2. Oh wait, look, here comes the car. 3, 2. Oh wait, look, here comes the car. 3, 2, 1. Wait. So grab a cup of coffee. That's how you say. Okay, and 3, 2, 1. Okay, so have you heard about this new show?
Yes, I have, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to see you on TV. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
There's a clock that runs on the camera. Can't you look at that?